one or two people who subscribe or have missed us,
Well, I'm one of
and I'm the other one.
them. But it's fun, damn it.
I missed us.
Um, I
I've
miss
been
some,
asleep for about a week. What's new?
I miss me all the time. I'm employed.
You what?
I'm employed.
Oh,
Yeah.
have you? Maybe that's why I'm not. 'Cause I was asleep for about a week. No, I got fired last. Oh, it was November 1st. I got fired.
Well, November 5th,
Oh, and you
Kamala,
got hired.
Kamala and Joe got fired. Good lead up to that. What do you want to talk about today?
You have an upcoming softball tournament.
Yep, we play this weekend in San Antonio. It's the Veterans Day tournament. Thank you to all the people up to and including you who have served or will serve. We couldn't do all of it without the protection they provide. It's like a big old condom.
I don't want to be thick skinned.
You just want to be a dick, right?
Before we go any further, I have to read this.
Okay.
Get ready to enter a world where your choices shape everything. Introducing Shadow's Edge, Rise of the Forgotten Realms. Step into the shoes of a warrior or a rogue. Will you defend the kingdom or lead a rebellion against it? Explore breathtaking lands, uncover hidden powers, and form alliances with creatures beyond imagination. Every decision carves your destiny. Every battle brings you closer to glory. Shadow's Edge, Rise of the Forgotten Realms, forge your path, find your strength, and become legend. Available now on all major platforms. Your journey awaits. Will you rise or be forgotten? That's our first sponsor.
Oh, we've been sponsored?
We've been sponsored.
By whom?
Some video game.
Oh.
Yeah. So,
Well, thank you to Shadow's Edge.
yeah, I think that's the name of it, wasn't it? Shadow's Edge, Rise of the Forgotten Realms.
Awesome.
Yeah.
On all platforms?
Platforms.
I said that. I just have it came out
Yeah.
because I have a list.
Because you have a list.
my S is a TH.
Yeah. That was, yeah.
I'm
excited about that.
Some breaking news from today. Not too long ago. Pennsylvania, they're going to be, or they did elect a new senator.
Really?
McCormick, a Republican, got elected there, so I believe that puts the count up to 53 on the Republican side.
Senators?
Yes, 53 senators on the Republican side. We're looking at 53 to 45 right now. There's still a few that are being counted.
Could you imagine? I mean, it'd be cool to be a senator, I think, but could you imagine being a Democrat senator walking into this?
They made their bed. Now they got to lie in it, or whatever Democrats. As of right now, looks like Republicans are at 209 to 197 in the House, 218 is needed for a majority. There's a lot of red on the map. We'll see how it goes. It's going to probably be the next few days before everything. There's going to be some contested stuff and all of that.
You know, they say the color red helps you sleep at night.
I saw that today.
And apparently it's true.
I think it was
People
Elon
sleeping
Musk.
Very well.
Elon Musk tweeted that out.
Who did?
Elon? Or
Oh, yeah.
X'd it out, tweeted it out. What do they call it?
Twitter? No, I think it's...
Well, it's X now, but before it was Twitter, and if you sent a message, you tweeted it. Now do you exit out?
Exit out.
We'll have to find out for future.
Sorry, I'm fixing my...
Oh, I thought you were trying to get us another sponsor. Like,
Sure.
negligee or something. Sugars, San Antonio. Up next on the pole, Lady Angela. Ain't nothing lady
It
about
must be Tuesday afternoon.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, so a lot of exciting stuff this week with the election on both sides.
Arizona and Nevada still have not declared a winner yet, even though they're Trump's ahead by 4 and 6%.
Well, let's look at that right quick. It looks like there is 87% in.
It's in Arizona.
Oh, sorry. I was looking at that's
County?
the counties. Yeah. I'm still trying to navigate this thing. Okay, so there's 90% in Nevada, 90.82% in, and he's up 50.93% to 47.25. I'm calling that race for Trump.
Wait, how far ahead? How many percent?
He's ahead by about 50,000 votes.
Well, percentage-wise.
It's about 3%, a little over 3%, 3.5%.
And then Arizona?
Arizona, there's 69% in, and he's up by just under 6 percentage points.
Did Arizona just say screw it?
They said all along their vote was going to take forever. So, yeah, I mean, at this point, the only thing that will matter there are if they haven't been called yet, would be the House and Senate races.
We'll end up with 312.
Yeah, so it looks like
It's pretty much a landslide, right? Popular vote, electoral college.
With Arizona, it looks like Kerry Lake is trailing Gallego by about the same margin that Trump is ahead, which is really odd that they're kind of went backwards on that. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Really tight race for the Senate in Nevada as well. Looks like it's 47.65 to 46.67.
Where the
Neither one can get a majority.
The veteran that guy who got blown up in Iraq.
Brown, yeah. That's him. He's trailing by like less than a percentage point. Yeah, so exciting stuff going on.
People leaving the country, celebrities. De Niro, are they gonna have safe places on the plane so they can cry in peace, so they're gonna comfort each other?
There's so many on the left who are beside themselves. I actually lost at least three to four Facebook friends.
Are you saying Facebook doesn't exist, or
No, the friends part. Facebook friends that blocked me, deleted me, whatever, because of the election and my views on it and whatnot. I don't get it. I mean,
I don't either.
There was actually one person who made a comment the other day about.
What about that very jolly, unhappy fellow who keeps getting blocked in?
I had a comment by a person. Here it is. It says, "Let me guess, you want your Facebook friends to delete you if we voted for Kamala?" I said, "No, not at all. Your vote, your choice. Glad you voted." And that's all we said that last.
That's all we've been saying is go vote.
Go vote. I don't care who you vote for. It's your right to express your voice. That's the right way to express your voice, and just do it. You know, I am a little bit perplexed, I guess, that it seemed like all of the talking heads and the pundits and everybody else was talking about how this was going to be a high voter turnout. Everybody was energized and charged and ready to go. But yet it's like 30 million people less than voted the last election. I saw a chart on that. It was like
Yeah,
Democrats,
the bar
Republicans,
chart.
Democrats, Republicans, and then all of a sudden it was like Democrats, Republicans, and then back to normal. This is how I don't get it. Where did those people go?
One of my friends from Australia messaged me today and showed me that. She sent me that chart as well and said, "This doesn't look right. Something's wrong with this." And all I can say is, many of us, actually probably the majority of us who are alive today and can vote. No, I just the majority of Americans lived through the election in 2020, and there was something not right. And um, this one went well. And I'm not saying that because the person I voted for won, because not every race that I voted in did my person win. There's a lot of Senate and congressional people that I wanted to win. Some local stuff didn't. So, but on a national level, the last election was rigged. This one, no. When there was a hint of it starting to happen, the GOP, they were right on. That's my dog making that noise. There's a grunting background noise as he's biting on a toy thing. The GOP and the Republicans and the independents stepped in and said, no, we're not going to allow this to happen. We need to fix whatever you're saying is wrong. And everything went smooth. Any glitches were handled immediately. There were the swing states. A couple of them were saying, oh, it's going to be a couple weeks before we can get the vote in. And the court said, no, you get it done. We're not counting votes after the fact.
Roughly, rough guesstimate, 14.4 million less votes this time around.
81 million.
Here's the funny part about that. Last election, yes, Biden had 81,268,867. Trump had 74,216,000. This election, Trump has 72,863,000. So about 2 million, which is doable, right?
Yeah.
She has 68 million. Biden had 81 million. How? Where did these people go? You can't tell me that 13 million people decided to just not vote. We're okay with Trump being there.
Trump will win. Well, according to Joy Reid, it's the white women that ruined this for Kamala.
That's another
Kamala,
thing.
she's dumb.
He had a higher minority vote, higher woman vote, Black vote, Asian vote, Hispanic vote. I think the gay vote went down. One thing I saw, I saw it somewhere. I don't know how accurate it was, but and I guess that's really hard to kind of track, because you have people who say they're not, people who are closeted, who aren't going to say they are. So it's really a hard statistic to track. But yeah, you can't tell me 13 million people just
said, no, we're not going to vote.
We're not voting.
We're going to
Our
sit
voice
this one
doesn't
out.
matter. Or maybe they did. They're like, Joe Tato just didn't do it for us, so we're sitting this one out. Like, he picked that thing to run with us, or with him.
No, he did.
Well, his original time, he picked her to get minority votes and woman vote. Well, after she called him a racist and all that other stuff.
I don't think he picked her in the first place. I think she was selected.
I don't think he did much of anything.
Poop his pants and eat ice cream and sniff children.
And lick on their toes. suck on their toes or whatever he was doing with that.
Tried to eat a baby, feet first.
Um,
Everybody knows you start at the head.
so more breaking news. Trump just named Susie Wiles as the White House chief of staff. I think that was his campaign manager.
I think so.
She will be the White House chief of staff. But the thing about it is Trump just doesn't surround himself with smart, intelligent, strong women.
Yeah.
So
I know
you
it's
know,
a shame because people like Tulsi Gabbard, what's her name? Phil
McInerney,
McInerney.
macaroni, and
It's a
cheese.
shame that he doesn't have them around.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a shame.
It's a shame. Well, I'm curious how the left can say he doesn't surround himself with strong women when they don't know what a woman is.
A woman.
So how do they know that he's not surrounded? I mean, J.D. Vance maybe identify as a woman. Who knows? I am glad to hopefully get back to some normalcy. Not dealing with my pronouns, you misgendered me, you mispronounced me, you are a xenophobe, homophobe, misogynist, Nazi, racist, all that. I mean,
we'll still be phobes, we'll still be is, but I don't think that'll be the norm. The expectation when you walk into a place, I don't think that'll be the norm. I think it'll be the exception. I think that the fact that 73% of Americans said that the country was headed in the wrong direction, and they took that to the polls with them and changed the direction the country was going in. I think normalcy will come back, and it's just a pendulum. When Joe Tato got in, it was like going to your grandparents' house and grandma and grandpa didn't know what was going on, so you could get away with murder.
you can be whatever you want.
Yeah, you can be a fence post, you can be a toaster, and now that the other set of grandparents is back, we've got to behave. It's not that. It's just you can be normal.
So one of our softball people, one of our friends, he was on the board with us one time, and he used that term.
Oh, that's
and
normal.
got absolutely scolded for it.
Yeah.
Because who are you to say what normal is?
I can pick out normal.
I know normal.
I mean, I'm not, but I can
Right.
pick it out.
You know, I can look at it and see what normal is. By the way, these mints from Buc-ee's, the cotton candy, they are gluten-free and sugar-free, are amazing.
Thank goodness.
They didn't sponsor us anything. It's just a free plug for them.
I'm saving the calories for the
So
brownies that are on their way.
with this election, of course, there were protests night before, in Chicago, which is good. I think they were peaceful for the most part, like really peaceful, not those peaceful that Democrats
Peacefully
usually say.
protesting.
Right. I think they held it together, so good for them. I really don't know, and I'm really kind of curious, like your thoughts on what you think will actually bring the country together. Like, so many people hate Trump because he's everything the media said he is. And I was kind of chatting with a friend of mine the other day who, of course, messaged, and he was terrified and scared, and I'm not going to have rights. And
What was that thing? If you have a gay friend who's scared and don't understand why, nobody does.
Yeah, something like that. It was definitely, yeah. I don't get it. I don't understand. I mean, I know where it's coming from, the things they hear in the media, the things they hear their candidates saying. You know, he's a Nazi, he's Hitler, he's this, he's that, he's going to do this, he's going to do that. And in reality, all it takes is, number one, did he do it 4 years ago or 8 years ago?
Well,
Did he do it when he was president the first time, or was this all part of his plan? Let me run once, lose, and then run again. Now I'm going to strip all your rights away from you. Makes no sense. Just, I don't think they can take a step back and think logically, and just consider, like, okay, is this really going to happen, or am I just being fed a bunch of like BS?
Well, they need people to keep believing that they're victims, because as long as they keep believing they're victims, they'll have an audience to speak to. And they'll also, and then these programs like that one that we had issues with, or had issues with us, because we didn't STFU and fall in line. Um, they need to stay in business. In order to stay in business, they need people to cater to, and that's where this victim mentality comes in. Keep perpetuating it. Keep telling everybody you're a victim. Keep telling yourself you're a victim. Find ways to stay a victim and keep victimizing yourself, so that we can keep the money coming in. These programs can keep the money coming in. The gravy train, you know. And honestly, you know, we've said it before. The left keeps saying, "Oh, Republicans, the conservative people, they want to take away our gay rights. They want to put us in concentration camps." And nothing could be further from the truth. I'm conservative. I'm a registered Republican. I don't want to do any of those things. I don't want to do these things to me, to you, to anybody. And I don't know anybody who does.
I also don't want them to be done to me, and I wouldn't have voted for them if I knew they were going to be done to me.
Right.
I've also been told by many on the left, or some on the left, that because of the color of my skin and my last name, I'm going to be sent back to Mexico. I've never been to Mexico. How can you be sent back somewhere you've never been?
Okay, I'm married into a Hispanic family.
Well, you're going back to Mexico too.
And I'm Puerto Rican, so where do I go?
Trash.
Where do I go? Do I get sent to
Cuba?
I'd actually like to go to Cuba.
Midway. Isn't that about Midway?
Midway Island?
Puerto Rico. It's right in the Cuba area, right?
Cuba, yeah, well,
a little
in
further.
The same Caribbean.
Same region.
I'd like to go to Cuba. I'd like to visit and go fishing.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
So,
all I know is, what's her name's husband said, and when she said it, now the work has to begin. You know, we roll our sleeves up. She's going to put her head down and go to work. It's what she does best.
That was Doug Emhoff, right? Yeah, I don't understand the fear that people are.
Is that live too?
It's not live. I'm on Snapchat just recording a thing I'm gonna send out here in a bit. But no, I don't understand the fear and where it's coming from everybody, particularly those on the left, and even more detail, those who are in the LGBTQ plus community that think it's going to be one of those, he's going to round people up and put us in concentration camps and all this. I don't know why the media continues to stoke the flames or the embers and keep that flame going.
And on top of that, they refer to him as a Nazi and a fascist. What was her name? Harris. I forgot her already. Thank God. And Biden they called Trump and congratulated him on his victory. Would they do that to Hitler?
I just find it disrespectful to the Jewish community for them to use those terms so loosely. And I get it. Trump has said mean things, and I don't condone anything he says.
I mean, someone wanted to smack someone on the recently.
Smack those
Smack 'em on
Republicans
the
on the
ass.
ass. Um,
Speaking of the Caribbean, we have another sponsor. Are you looking for a place where adventure and relaxation come together? Discover Blue Water Cove, the hidden gem of the Pacific. Imagine walking up to a golden sunrise, strolling along white sandy beaches, and snorkeling in crystal clear waters teeming with vibrant sea life. Whether you're exploring lush tropical forests, indulging in world class spa treatments, or dining on fresh local cuisine, every moment feels like paradise. Bring your family, your friends, or just yourself. Blue Water Cove is your escape, your adventure, your sanctuary. Blue Water Cove, where memories are waiting to be made. Book your escape today and experience the magic. Other sponsor.
Thank you, Blue Water Cove. So, all right, we're 26 minutes in here. We haven't really covered any topics that we wanted to talk.
Not
We've just
really.
been shooting the
We're
shit.
just gabbing.
Um,
We're gonna have guests. Oh, can we call one?
I can. You know what? I'm gonna give one person a call.
It's gonna be a surprise.
It's gonna be a surprise. This
To
person
everybody.
this person voted
Well, good.
like us.
Good.
And they did vote, you know, so that's good. This person did vote. They are local to, well, they currently live in the San Antonio area. Um, they they are excited about our they're excited about our podcast taking off and whatnot.
Do they identify as they?
Calling them now, and let's see if they answer.
What the fuck do you want?
Hey, you're on our podcast. How are you doing, Carol?
Hi.
Hi.
I'm
We're
gonna.
talking about how we're gonna get Harris to come back and run again in 28.
So, we want to talk to you a little bit.
Hi.
Hi.
We want to talk to you a little bit and get.
She's
This
really
is
on
Carol.
scene.
You're on our podcast here. So,
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
oh, that's right there. We want to ask you a couple questions.
Sure.
What are your thoughts on the election? Number one.
I'm excited.
What excites you?
Not slowly sinking into communism, cheaper groceries, maybe the chance of no income tax, no wars,
Wait, go back to the income
getting
tax
rid
thing.
of all the illegal aliens that are sucking up all of our tax dollars.
Go back to the no income tax thing.
The no income tax, well, he hasn't said for sure he's going to do that. But just the fact of taking the income tax off of tips and overtime, if he gets that accomplished, I think that's a big thing for a lot of working people.
And didn't he say the same for Social Security?
I saw that as well. The Social Security would.
Yeah, you've already paid tax on that. I've
Yeah.
never understood that. Why am I, you know how much I have to take out every month just to pay my income tax every year? It's like,
How much?
well, that and
A lot?
property tax is like about $500 a month.
Well, here's the deal
Holy shit.
on taxes. Like payroll tax. Okay, they tax our income, and then we go buy something. We get taxed for that, and then you the taxes are just never ending.
Well, don't most of the taxes we pay on stuff we buy, doesn't that go to either the city or the state that you live in? The federal government doesn't get that, right?
I believe it is like a local sales tax and stuff like that.
Well, somebody said, and I haven't heard this, but somebody said that he was going, he's talking about doing the tariffs again,
Mhm.
which I think is great. And of course, they're not for that. And putting this was the liberals, so take that with a grain of salt. And that talking about having a universal sales tax that everybody would have to pay, rich, poor.
I think one thing that they should explore is just having that that flat tax. You know,
A flat tax,
a
yeah.
15, 20%, whatever it is. Everybody's paying the same. That way, you can't. The Democrats can't come and say, "Well, you're not paying your fair share." Everybody's paying the exact same amount
Well, that, and
of their income.
if you don't want to pay it, then don't go. You know, if you're like we are, if you're not working or whatever, stay at home. Don't go out and eat. Don't buy a bunch of clothes. Don't buy a bunch
Right.
of other stuff. You know,
Right.
You know,
You-
the
but at
things
least
we
it's
should
not
be
being-
able to do.
you're not forced.
Right. And another
Okay.
thing, if live within your means. You know,
Yeah.
you got people out there buying cars and buying all this other stuff, and they don't have a pot to piss in, so or a window to throw it out of.
Yeah.
So that's a big part of it too. And I think the biggest controlling your spending starts with our government. You
Yes,
know,
I'm
That would be
excited about
nice.
that too.
That
I'm
30
excited about Elon and whoever's gonna, all the people that are gonna help him regulate some of these government entities
Yeah.
that spend so much of our tax dollars.
Yep.
You,
So-
Carol,
Bloated government.
Carol, do you think he's going to bring in Warren Buffett? Trump is going to bring in someone like Warren Buffett to be
Wow.
Secretary of Commerce?
That would be great.
That I agree. I think that would be awesome.
I think that the more the good people, the more good people you could get that you surround yourself with, kind of like when you have kids, you know, your friends that are good role models,
Or a
the
softball
better
team.
off you are. You know?
Never be the smartest one in the room.
Right, absolutely.
Granted,
I don't
Trump
ever-
does know a lot about a lot,
I
but
don't ever have to worry about that.
And I don't care about political party affiliation.
Right.
If that person is honest and wants to do a good job at whatever role it is, then I'm fine with that, you know?
I agree.
Yep.
Like he's bringing an RFK.
yeah, RFK and to do
RFK.
some health stuff. Make America healthy again.
And
You
I'm
know?
really impressed with that female, too, that is it Nicole Shanahan? I'm impressed with some of
yeah.
the things she said, too.
Did you see he just named his White House chief of staff?
Did he pick one yet?
Yeah.
Is it the female?
Yeah, Susie.
Great.
I'm forgetting her last name, but
If he likes her, first name's Susie. If he likes her, then hey.
Yeah.
As long as she's tough as nails
But
and
he
do a
doesn't.
good job.
He doesn't surround himself with tough females or tough women
Or smart ones.
or smart
Smart.
women. Yeah,
Independent ones.
smart,
Yeah.
smart, independent women.
Educated.
Okay, well, we just wanted to call and bug you a little bit and get your opinions on the election and let you see our setup here.
It looks great.
Yeah. So, and then you can see this way. We kind of have our.
Yeah.
Aw. But where's the dog?
They're in the
Oh,
cage.
wait,
They're in their
hang on.
little back area. They're not in the cage. They're in their little back area.
Can you see that?
You see it?
Aw.
Yeah, we don't cage kids or dogs.
That's our studio audience right there.
Live studio audience. But we do have to get another break in here.
Yeah.
So, well, we will send this to you whenever. We're actually live right now on YouTube if you want to go on there. If you're not following us or subscribed to us.
I
Yeah, it
do
is.
subscribe to you.
Oh, you didn't do it on YouTube? Oh, never mind. We're not
I
live.
just recorded it.
I need people. Like these people I have.
You need to tell me if we're going to be live before you do this, so that I don't answer the phone and go,
No.
what the fuck do you
Oh,
want?
we don't care.
We're not censored.
We'll bleep that all out.
We're not censored. Okay, well, thank you for coming on. We'll talk to you later. We'll send this link over to you when we're done. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
That was Carol. She's a local San Antonian. She actually grew up in the Corpus Christi area. She's a political junkie, kind of like we are. She's a little bit more to the right, a lot more to the right than we are. She doesn't have a lot of sense, but she's a nice person.
She's funny. That moment was brought to you by Big Joe's Diner. Are you craving something unique? Come on down to Big Joe's Diner. Sure, we've had a few hiccups, but who hasn't? At Big Joe's, we like to keep things interesting. Our menu's packed with all the classics: juicy burgers, crispy fries, and shakes that are just, well, unforgettable. And hey, every visit is an adventure. We're making improvements every day, so come on by. Bring your friends and be part of our story at Big Joe's Diner. We're serving up food and a lot of character. Big Joe's Diner. So good, you'll remember it.
Thank you, Big Joe's.
Thank you, Big Joe.
Um,
I'm having so much fun with those.
all right. So you take it for a couple of seconds and talk about whatever you want to talk about. I'm going to try to get somebody from the left on the phone.
Okay.
I don't, most of them have blocked me, so it's going to be hard to find
Is
one.
there anybody left?
Call
BP.
Oh, yeah, that would go over real well.
Yeah, okay. So I'm going to talk for a little bit about something that's near and dear to my heart, and that is softball. There's a tournament this weekend, a Veterans Day tournament, here in San Antonio, brought to you by the San Antonio Pride League, I think it is now.
San Antonio Pride Softball League.
Softball League, there we go. Which is basically our home league. But, we play in a lot of different ones, but that's the one that we kind of have been a part of for a while. And every year there was a Veterans Day tournament. COVID happened and kind of put the kibosh on it, but it's back. And it's this weekend at Kennedy Sports Complex in south side of San Antonio. We've got, I believe it's a total of 12 teams playing, 9 games.
I think it's up to 14.
14?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Some from out of town, mostly from here, but a lot from out of town. Tell you what, a couple of years ago, it was big. We had what did the winner get? Rings. World
Yes.
Series rings.
They
They were awesome.
got
Everybody
rings.
loved them, and there's probably still like 300-400 of them somewhere. We'll have to check with our friend Iz about that.
We gave them all out.
And but Hector's playing in it. His team Slam.
So on that note, I'm thinking of changing the name of my team to Slamaga. 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 Just
I love
to
that idea.
ruffle a few feathers.
It's what we do. It's what we do. But I won't be playing. I've got an injury. I had a torn tendon, and I had it repaired October 17th, and I'm still healing.
She's no longer an athlete. She's now an athletic supporter.
That's right. That's right. I may go just to wear my Trump gear, and when people become uncomfortable and need a safe space.
I'm trying to call another
Oh, okay.
member of our.
Our crew.
Not sure he'll answer.
I don't know what that button does. I don't know if you can hear the sound effects.
Hello?
Hey, Mr. McKnight.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
I just wanted to let you know you're on our episode of our podcast here. We wanted to talk to you about the election.
Oh, he won't do FaceTime?
Oh, wow. Good thing you caught me. I just walked out the racquetball court.
Perfect. Wait, we had our people watching your people and all that good stuff.
We
so
just had to
knew.
time it just right. We wanted
How'd
to get-
racquetball go?
We're split 1-1, and I'm done.
Got
It's a good workout.
to save that energy for the tournament this weekend.
Well, I played softball last night, too, so.
So,
Hi, Tracy.
Angela's here with me as well.
Hey, Angela.
You should FaceTime.
The smart one.
Wow. So I wanted to talk to you about that little bet. He was doom and gloom.
He was.
Kamala's gonna win. We're gonna lose. This is all bullshit. So a bet was made, and then he paid up. So good on
He
him for
did?
that. Yeah.
Exactly.
I gave him
You know what?
I gave him a 25% break though.
You are a man of your word, Tracy.
I am.
What are your thoughts on the election? We just got off with Carol Lynn and got her input. Kind of curious what your thoughts are on the election and how you see the country going.
Hang on a second. Okay.
Hey, you're on our time.
You're on our time. This
Great,
is sponsored by somebody that we'll get to here in a bit. But
We
I think
have
it was a red
sponsors.
wave
Don't
for
laugh.
once. We had a red wave.
how do you think that? I mean, do you think the country will come together? Do you think the country can ever come together?
Absolutely not.
You don't think so? Why?
We're too partisan now. Everybody is dug into their own side.
So let me ask you this: based on that, if let's say if Donald Trump said, "Hey, you know what? I like the idea that Joe Tato had about the border," because his vice president didn't know where it was, and he said,
In her defense, she hasn't been to Europe either.
"That's true. She's got plenty of time now." Let's say that he said, "You know what? Joe Tato's got a good idea, and I need everybody's support on whatever his idea was. We want to implement that. Would you be in favor of that, or would you say?"
I'm in favor of anything that makes sense and works. I don't care who thought of it.
Okay.
I like when Trump said, I will work with the Democrats if it's a good idea.
Yeah, that's common sense. That makes sense.
I think the problem is we have our districts are so gerrymandered now that if you win your party's nomination, like AOC, for example, you've won the election.
Yeah.
But she has to cater to that left wing to just to get the nomination. So she goes to Washington and she, has to do what her constituents want.
And I think that's part of the problem too. Like someone like me, for example, I'm obviously conservative, but I'm also, part of the LGBT alphabet soup community. Even though one particular person says I'm not, I'm just a fake gay or whatever. I would never get support from either side, for the most part. Depending on where I'm at, what district I'd be running in and things like that.
Exactly.
So that's what makes it hard because it's not based off of ideas. It's based off of you are this, so you can't be this.
Right. I remember having a conversation with somebody online about that. They said, "How can you be gay and be a conservative?" Well, I don't understand, and I didn't understand the correlation. How can you not be?
I guess not. I don't. That's a good question.
But I know we called you kind of impromptu. We did the same thing to Carol and caught her just almost napping. I think on her couch. We FaceTimed her. It was funny.
Hey, but before you go, I want you to know that this moment was sponsored by Bitter Brews Coffee. Looking for a coffee experience you'll never forget? Welcome to Bitter Brews Coffee. Our coffee might be an acquired taste. Some say it's too strong. Others say it's just a bit unique. But hey, it's always not. It's always hot, always fresh, and always memorable. So whenever you need a jolt to start your day or a bold cup to keep you going, Bitter Brews Coffee is here for you. Come in for the coffee, stay for the atmosphere, because at Bitter Brews, there's never a dull sip. Bitter Brews Cafe. It's coffee with character and a lot of it.
All right. Well, come in for their lemonade. Just come in for their hot brown water. Thank you, Bitter Brews.
That sounds good.
Okay. Well, we will talk to you later. I'll send you this link over so you can hear yourself on the what is it? Repository of all things small and insignificant podcasts. RATS for short. RATSI's.
Well, thank you for calling. I'm sorry a little winded, but I just played too good.
Well, at your
at
age,
your advanced
getting up out of
age.
your recliner gets you a little winded, so you're good.
Whatever.
Did you,
All right.
How, hey, how do you play with dragging that oxygen tank around?
Got a bad sciatica and an oxygen tank, and hopefully you didn't pull a labia. So, all right. Well, we'll talk to you tomorrow.
All right. Thank you.
Hey, that was Tracy.
That
He's a
was
good guy.
Tracy. He's
He's a good sport.
He's from Arkansas.
We have to use small words with him.
Yes, and
He's a good sport.
and few teeth.
He's a good sport. One of my favorite things, and other people who know Tracy and Hector, is watching those two go at each other, giving each other crap. It's fun. I think my favorite one was at the trivia that night where you were trying to pay your bill and he's drinking all your beers.
I'm looking over at my cup. I'm like, it's half gone. I was like, I know I didn't drink that. Like, where's it? Yeah, it's good times. Yeah, I know. Time flies. We're
Glad we have
45
all these sponsors now.
minutes. I know. Um, I think just kind of maybe spending the last 15 minutes on kind of serious topics ish. Um, I hope that we can come together, as a country. Not so the example I'm going to give, I obviously don't want it to happen, but I feel like the last and really few times that the country's ever been one or come together was 9/11. Um, everybody was pissed off and
Yeah.
but I feel like it was a united front, and I think the Bush presidency kind of ruined that with the whole Iraq thing, kind of leading it from we were attacked by XYZ and then
41.
taking it into no
Not
W
43.
W
43.
Mhm. Yeah, kind of leading us into Iraq to and in all honesty, I think it was I'm going to get Saddam for my dad, and I think that's what it was, what it boiled down to with that. But prior to that, I think it was we were united. We were, you know, president had a high approval rating. Everybody was pro America. It was
Yeah.
America first, and that was okay. And I minus something like that happening, I don't know that it'll ever be that united again.
I'm a year or two older than you.
Decade
I,
or two.
I
older.
remember back in, the political nonsense has been going on since forever. There's been, if it's politics, I don't care what year it is, there's some shenanigans.
Mhm.
And remember it back in the 60s, back in the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, nothing's changed. It's just now, I believe, that with social media, it's there's so much information being put out, whether it's disinformation or whether it's factual or on CNN. um,
See what you did.
I see what I did.
As I have CNN up on my computer
he
here.
He does. He's got CNN up there.
I think I got a virus.
Know your enemy. Keep your enemy close. No, I'm joking around, but nobody likes extremists. On I don't care where you're from. No Americans like extremists. So when you get, when people come to your door and try to sell you something, even though you've got signs up at your front door that say no soliciting, or someone comes to knock on your door to tell you about something you have no interest in, and they try to shove it down your throat. Nobody likes that. So when you get this information being put out 24/7, 365, and it's constant, unless you have no social media or you're deaf or blind, then you're going to hear it and it's going to get in there. I had a mentor years ago when starting up a business. He would tell us, you've got to protect. He would ask us, what's the most important 6 inches in the world? And the truth is, the space between your ears.
Oh.
And yeah, it is. That's the most important. And the reason is because you get garbage in and this garbage comes out. So if you fill this with positive stuff that will help build your character, build you as a human being, keep you positive. If you fill your brain with that, all that outside nonsense, it doesn't matter. And don't watch the news. He told us that, and I was glued to the news. he said, turn it off. And it became a great habit of mine of not watching the news. And I remember asking him, well, what happens if something important, if something important happens, how will I know? Someone will tell you. And it's true. 9/11, just had the TV on in the morning for noise. Sure enough. Someone told me what happened. I wasn't paying attention, but I know what happened. The Oklahoma City bombing. I didn't have the news on. Someone told me what happened. I'm just saying these are examples, extreme examples. I would recommend you turn off the news. Fill your head with something positive. Read a book. Read the Bible. Something positive. If you're not Christian, it doesn't matter. Find something positive to fill your head. And practice being positive. Practice finding the positive about something. Where you fall down the stairs. Oh my gosh, I got down the stairs quicker than I ever did before. Which
sounds like you've
that's
experienced
my experience right there. I'm just saying that's I forgot what I was actually talking about, but that's what I would do.
I'll bring it back to kind of what you were talking about was the whole news thing and the 24-hour cycle, which started June 1st, 1980. So
with who?
CNN.
Trivia question.
Personally, I'm much more youthful than you. I've never lived without a 24-hour news cycle.
I don't think you've ever put it that way.
I've never lived without a 24-hour news cycle, and a lot of people haven't, and a lot of the people who,
they don't know what 9/11 is.
Well, I don't know like the Gen X, Gen Z, like all those. I don't know what the time frames on all those are, but a lot of the younger crowd that typically leans a little bit more left. It makes a lot of sense because most of the 24-hour news cycles all lean left.
Yep.
Minus your Fox News, which does
they're
kind of
extremists
going
at
right.
times too.
But most of the news sources lean to the left, and most of these younger individuals lean left. I think until they get out there, they're having to do things for themselves, and they're not staying at home with their parents, and they're not depending on others to do things for them. Once they realize like, oh crap, this is real life, then they start seeing like, okay, I like money. I don't want to pay more taxes. I don't, I have these other things. So they're at least questioning things.
Yeah.
They may still vote left. They may still support a Democrat candidate, but they're at least listening and they're open to that idea. But it with that 24-hour news cycle, you get crap 24 hours.
And it's shoved
now.
in your face 24/7.
So I would agree. I think that's a big part of it is the news cycle, or really it's not even news. The talking head cycle. Get those commentaries off.
It's not
off
news.
of TV.
It's the media. It's not news. News is you sit down, someone reads facts about something that happened.
There was a car wreck on the 90, and
I wonder what that is.
there was a car wreck on the 90, and 2 people were sent to the hospital. That's news.
That's news.
There was a car wreck on the 90, and
because some guy was driving like a jerk.
Right. Once you start interjecting your opinion,
then it's not news. It's opinion.
It's your
it's
opinion.
editorializing.
It's commentary.
Yeah. Which is fine, but people mistake that for news because it's on stations like the Clinton News Network. I mean CNN. What does the C stand for?
Cable.
Cable News Network. Or Fox. When it just extreme stuff, and it gets more, and the more extreme it gets, the more ratings go up, and the more ratings go up, the more advertisers you get. The more advertisers you get, the money goes up.
Speaking of advertising, we're coming up to the top of the hour.
Oh yes. Speaking of, okay, so our last advertiser for tonight is Aha. You think you know it all? Think again. Meet Aha. Aha. The trivia team that is ready to take on any challenger. Led by an all-star lineup, Angel Angela, Betty, Hector, Tracy, and Austin. Aha is here to prove there's more than just brains to them. They're legends in the making. From movie quotes to obscure history and science facts to pop culture, this team's got the answers that'll make you say, aha. Catch aha at your local trivia night and see if you've got what it takes to keep up. Because when aha is in the room, every question has a championship answer. Aha, the trivia team that always has the last word. Thank you to aha for sponsoring us.
I would like to add Mallory into that.
Oh yeah, I didn't
Did you
write
say
this.
Mallory or Betty into their?
I think it said Betty. I'm gonna change it. It's Mallory, not Betty. Betty shows on Saturdays, and she contributes.
Betty shows,
Betty.
Mallory knows. Thank you to all the members of AHA. For
We've got a
sponsoring this
rotating
segment.
crew, and
Yeah.
they all contribute, and it's great having them all there.
I think we finally have our setup and everything.
I think so. I really want to use the new
Good.
camera.
Are we using?
No, we're using,
We're
that,
using this.
that one.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
No wonder
Okay.
it was when I was pointing up there. Didn't do it. It's a work in progress.
new.
We're going to. I would like to do this more often.
I've got all the time in the world.
And I mean, I work from home, so
You've got all the time in the world.
that's doable. But
We should do a lunchtime broadcast.
definitely want to.
We went to Trump Burger the weekend before the election.
That's why he won.
Yeah.
It was actually really good, but it was also really packed. Right at 11 o'clock, people already lined up, waiting to get in. I think the movement that he has really reinvigorated the conservative or Republican base. And I mean, the red wave that was supposed to happen 2 years ago obviously didn't, but it just hit. You know, I think
Yeah.
the tsunami, the earthquake, I saw this thing earlier. It was like it took an earthquake to get the tsunami going.
Yeah, and I think that earthquake was 2020.
2020, but more so 2022, whenever things didn't happen and they started getting their their Senate seats and all of that good
People
stuff.
started
And
looking around going, this is nonsense. I
Mhm.
don't want big fat dude in a dress telling me that I'm unhealthy. I know I'm unhealthy. Inside.
And yeah, it's
Hey, what's going on over there?
our live studio audience is having some issues.
Hey, stop pumping each other.
But yep. So appreciate the two guests we had, Carol and Tracy. I think they'll be regulars on our podcast. Maybe if we can convince them to come in and actually sit in front of the camera and chat with us. If not, then we can definitely give them a call and bring them on that way.
Yeah.
And honestly, I would like to have views from the other side. I don't know a lot of people who still have me as a friend, especially after this last election. But I'm sure we could find people. I'm sure we could find people that would be willing to chat a little bit, tell us their side. You know.
Well, and someone that I want to bring on is one of our one of the neighbor kids. So she can translate all the riz and the drip and all that stuff for us. So, all the way they speak today. You know, the young hip kids
Oh,
that we used to be.
I just spoke in sentences
I know. But
With
now
a lift.
there's like riz.
with a lift.
You've spoken sentence.
But
Okay, I think we're
cool.
about
We were
done.
approaching our hour, and it was fun. This was kind of an impromptu. Wanted to test some things. It went well.
That's our flag.
Yeah, flag withstood the. It's not backwards. It's perfect.
I know, and I don't get it because you're on that side. I'm on this side. The Trump and the Trump Vance
And look, slam is backwards.
And the D.
The D should be forward. On that note,
Be good humans.
be good humans, and we will have some more sponsors and more conversation for y'all at a later date and a later time. See ya.
Bye.